Hi folks, this is Regular Guy for Regular Guy Reviews. I've always liked watching movies, whether on DVD or going to the movies, and I've always wanted to be a movie critic. So as I look at some of the other critics on TV and stuff like that, I say to myself, heck, I could do that because I go to the movies. I sure as heck have the time since I'm retired. So I decided to become a movie critic, but I want to do it in a different way. I call my reviews Regular Guy Reviews. There's certain types of movies that I like I detest romantic comedies and love stories and stuff like that because I consider myself a regular guy. So these are the reviews I'm going to be doing, just regular guy movies, all right? And I chose as my first review to do a Tom Cruise movie called Jack Reacher. So let me start this up real quick. Okay. Tom Cruise obviously is a star. His name is Jack Reacher. He's supposed to be like a former military police. I couldn't really get a good feel on why he left the military, but for some reason he left the military. He runs around dispensing justice, investigating crimes that have to do with members of the military. And I recommend this movie highly because I watched it at the movies, and now it's on DVD. So if you want to save a little money this weekend, instead of going to the movies and spending, I don't know, $40-50 to take you and your sweetheart to the movies, when you figure popcorn, soda, yada yada yada, you're gonna spend $40 minimum. So go see it. But let's go on with the movie. As I said, Jack Reacher is played by Tom Cruise. His co-star is, and I don't know these people, that's why I have the names written down. Her name is Rosamund Pike. She stars as Helen Rodin, who's a lawyer that's defending the person that was actually accused of the murder that Tom Cruise is investigating. Of course, she doesn't know anything. She's idealistic, yada yada yada. You've seen it before, but she does a good job of playing, someone who at first doesn't believe that this guy could be innocent because there's really a lot of twists and turns in the beginning. You see the actual murders. You actually see who does it. So it kind of takes the suspense away in a sense, but it's kind of fun to watch him and her interact because she doesn't know what's going on. She doesn't really trust him, and he actually thinks the guy that's accused of it actually did it. So he's got to find out, did he do it, did he not do it? So that's the storyline pretty much. That's her again. This is one of the scenes where she's being chased by the bad guy. So notice the look of fear in her face. Yeah. Robert Duvall's in the movie also. He's a grizzled Marine vet who ends up helping Tom Cruise in a special way, and I'm not going to tell you how because I don't want to kill the movie. But you know him from, I know him from westerns like Lonesome Dove. I've seen him in. So he's been around a long time. He really does a good job in this movie as well. This is the bad guy. They call him the Zek. His name is Werner Herzog. I guess he's German, and he has that thick accent from someplace in Europe that you can't really figure out because I don't speak German. But he's either German or Russian. You really don't know in the movie, okay, where he's from. But they call him the Zek. He's the bad guy. Here is another picture of him. Of course, they make him look really crazy because he's got the one eye thing going on right there, and looks like a cataract to me for being old. But he's the bad guy. Here's a detective. His name is David Oyelowo. He's a cop who's helping Jack Reacher investigate. They come at odds with each other because he's trying to do his job, and Jack Reacher is one of those guys that are quote unquote outside the law, trying to figure out what's really going on. This is the actual shooter. His name is what's this guy's name? Jai Courtney. I've seen him in the cable show Spartacus. He's a good actor, but he's like the real shooter. So the movie's full of. Well, let's talk about what it's not full of, which I appreciated for this movie. It doesn't have a whole bunch of love mess in it. Sometimes it's good to have a little love story behind it, but this is an action drama whodunit type of movie, so he doesn't have time for all that. You might see a little what they call sexual tension with Rosamund Pike. Her name is Helen in the thing, but you're going to see car chases. And fancy muscle cars, which I dig. Real funny scene that he has where he's in a car chase and he basically outruns the police all over town, causing mayhem. You know how car chase scenes are. But they wreck a really nice car, and it really upset me because I love muscle cars. But then of course there's fight scenes where Tom Cruise does his little Krav Maga thing and beats the crap out of one guy. Of course, there's the kick him in the balls thing. He really hurts one guy real bad. It's actually good to see it. It makes you wonder, does Tom Cruise actually know how to fight like that? Because he does a good job of faking it if he doesn't. All right. Here she is again. Of course, the bad guy's after her. And here's the Zek again, the bad guy, the one who's behind all the mess, which you'll find out. So, in this part of the movie, they're going against the bad guys. I don't want to tell you what they do. And of course, there's the major fight scene at the end with Tom Cruise versus the main bad guy. And you can see the size difference in these guys, And it's a really good fight, though. Of course, they got to do it in the rain, and everybody's slipping and sloshing around and getting dirty. I don't know why they have to do that, but I guess they feel it makes for good drama. But it's actually a real good fight scene, and you can see it being realistic, and him being an ex, combat military policeman. The fight scene is real realistic. So, bad guy again, and of course, there's always got to be come up with somebody dies. Maybe it's him, maybe it's the other guy. You'll find out in the movie, though. But I found it to be fairly enjoyable. Pretty good movie, I dug it. And like I said, if you want to save some money this weekend, go rent the DVD instead of going to spend money for Star Trek, which I'm going to see this weekend. Yeah. But the only problem I have with the movie is this. Now, after watching the movie, I kind of looked up a biography of the guy who wrote the book, Jack Reacher, because I believe there's a series of like 3 of them. And he's supposed to be a big, tall, strapping guy. And, Tom Cruise, because he's a good actor, was able to get that off. But I think this guy would have been a better Jack Reacher to fit the book. Now, is he a better actor? No, I think Tom Cruise has been around a whole lot longer than The Rock, and he did it better. But wouldn't it have been great to see somebody that fits the book, And plus, he can have that stern, I'm really stern look about him. He could have done it. But that's the only problem I have with the movie whatsoever. Maybe the casting was a little bit off. But, hey, I think he could have done a good job, too. Maybe not quite as good as Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise knows how to bring a certain intensity to a movie. I mean, when he's running, he's really running. When he's fighting, he's really fighting. And when he's upset, he's really upset. When he's happy, as you know from the jumping on the couch thing, he's really happy. So, he did a good job. I like the movie. I highly recommend it. This is the part that annoys me, though, on all these action movies. Now, every movie I've ever seen where there's a major villain, they fit into one of these categories. You're Islamic jihadists, your Colombian drug cartel guys, former Nazi SS officer. They're aliens. These days they're adding African pirates, either Nigerian or Somalian. Italian mafia, Japanese yakuza. I think I spelled that wrong. So, hey. Or Russian or former Soviet Union KGB agents who've gone bad since the breakup of the Soviet Union. And the movie fit into one of these categories. I'm not going to tell you which. Obviously, he's not an alien, he's not an African pirate. But one of these other ones, now the Islamic jihadist, so you can kind of figure out which one he is. But I wish they would come up with a new angle on who the bad guys actually are in these movies. Because it's always going to be one of them guys. Like, okay, which one's it going to be? Is it going to be somebody that wants to blow up the world for a jihad? Is it somebody who wants to run the drugs in a particular area like the mafia? Is it the triad? It's always going to be one of these guys. So every movie you ever seen that had a bad guy, a group of bad guys, they always seem to fit into one of these categories. And I wish they would come up with something different, just a new type of bad guy. I don't know. Think of one. Eskimo that's mad because they're shooting all the bears or something. Just come up with something different for a change. Okay. All right. That's Jack Reacher. That's the bad guy again. And I'm off. Regular Guy Reviews. Peace. It's a shame I got to do my own editing and filming. I need somebody to help me here. Any volunteers?